then when you bring on Gyökeres, part of your job is to hold the ball up, like, I mean, he never held it up once yesterday. That put us under pressure. You know what I mean? Generally all round, our forward play is not up to the scratch of what other parts of our game are. And if we're going to go and win the league, we have to improve as a front three. Now, we've got January coming up. If you do not sign anybody in January, then you have to do it as a coaching point of view. And this is going to put pressure on. I don't think our front three is good enough to win the league. It's not. Doesn't score enough goals, doesn't look enough down. And we do not look like scoring goals at will. You know what I mean? Do you remember a couple of years ago we was beating teams 6-0, 5-0, 4-0 and all that? Let's go back to that. Go back to it. Whatever that was, I want some more of that when I know that you're going to go and destroy teams. But the last few games, with this control sort of game, you're vulnerable to a last-minute goal. You're vulnerable to one mistake. And, like, that's what's happened yesterday, like, you know what I mean? We was vulnerable to it. And if I always felt that they looked, every time they went forward, I thought they might score. When we're going forward, I never felt that. And so obviously, the turnover then for them becomes, right, okay, well, we're going to go for it here, like, And I think that's got to improve, boys. It really has. I don't know if it's personnel or a little tactical tweak, but it's got to change. It's got to change because...
You know what? Can I say something here? Because obviously I was a striker, so I'm always looking at things with strikers. And I think that Arsenal now have got to get Gyökeres in this team and firing. Because ultimately he was brought in to make the difference. Now, he had one of his best games at Burnley and got injured. That was unfortunate. I don't know if you even heard that he played with a broken finger.
No, I didn't know. How did he break that?
He's not playing cricket.
Played with a broken finger.
How did he break that?
No, apparently he tried to win the dog's biscuits, apparently, and she nicked him. So, but no, he had a broken finger. Everyone's getting injured. But I look at the moment and I think, if you can get a front three at the moment of Trossard, who's playing well, Saka, and we need to get him closer to his level, and Gyökeres with proper chance creation, it's probably going to be Odegaard. That argument's a waste of time. Arteta's going to pick Odegaard, so Odegaard needs to step his game up and start connecting with Gyökeres, and they need to build partnerships and build chemistry. I think that front three, if you get them on the right wavelength, is capable of breaking teams down. Because I just thought Mourinho yesterday, it was always going to be a game that he would struggle. And I think Arteta's system generally is built for a false nine. I think it's more suited to when he's had a Havertz up there or a Mourinho up there. When he's had like an Aubameyang, a Lacazette, a Gyökeres, an out-and-out goal scorer, seems like it struggled a little bit. So I think now they've got to sort of adapt to Gyökeres.
Yeah, that's what Gyökeres. I just want to say one thing on Gyökeres. Like, obviously, I get it. He's had these injuries. He's been in and out. He's played with different wingers all the time and stuff. And I know he's a finisher. His game isn't hold up play completely sort of thing. But I do expect some of the basics better, man. I feel like you said every single ball went to him. It's like it takes him 10 seconds to settle the ball between his feet. And it's like, I get it. He's a big striker and he's a big guy and stuff. But he's a Premier League striker that we spent a lot of money on that scored 100 goals in 100 games or whatever. And I know the league's more intense and stuff. But the basics, it's like, I see the ball played into him and I almost expect him to lose it. Or he makes every pass a 50-50 duel. It's like by the time he's controlled the ball, there's a defender on him that he's got a battle and he'll just pass. And if you're not going to do that well at all, fine, acceptable. But then when Declan Rice is putting that cross in, that's where you go, okay, I'm not really good at this side, but I've got to be on that. So I get the fact of, he's not got the chemistry, he's not had the best service ever, but he has had stuff where he could have shown what he can do. And I don't think he's shown it yet. Obviously, in and out the team doesn't help, and I do get that, but it is a bit worrying in terms of the basics, like just certain ball control and movement and stuff that you sort of thought that'd be the bit that will come easy. It'd be more about building the connection with the other players. That'd be the hard bit. But yeah, just a note on him.
By the way, Lee, we are actually the second top scorers in the league. So we are scoring a lot of goals, but we need more. You are right. We do need more.
Yeah, we need more. I know that sometimes statistics lie. I know that sounds silly, but they do. You know what I mean? Like, I get it that we're the top scorers.
No,
but,
second top. Second. City at the top.
Yeah, I think that Spurs are up there, like, but as well, like, but it is how you go about playing it. Like, someone made a great analogy yesterday, and I think that we've got to think of this as well. And we've all been a little bit guilty. I've been guilty with Mourinho as well. Someone said, look, if you put a spare tire on a car, you don't continually keep using it. Right.
Where are we going here?
It's a fact, isn't it?
Like that. Marino's the spare tyre.
Yeah, so eventually you get it changed to get the real deal back on there. It does you a job, but eventually you got. And do you know what? I looked at that and I thought, do you know what? That's a great thing to say. He's done well for us, Mourinho, but Gyökeres is your striker. You spent the money on it. You got to do it, and you got to make it work, Mikel. Yeah. You got to make it work. He's the one now that takes us leads us to the title. That's what you got to do, And whether you like it or whether you don't, that is it. That is it for me, I think that, I look at Odegaard. You've got Haaland playing for you in Norway, so you can find Haaland, you can find him, There's not much of a difference as far as he's a big centre forward and things like that. We know that Haaland's Haaland, but at the end of the day, I've heard people say we can't play with this centre forward and all that. Well, you play with a centre forward, right? Wingers want to get the crosses in for a centre forward. Every time we cross the ball, he's nowhere near it. Nowhere near it when the crosses come in, I don't know why. But, as you say yesterday, so it's a great point. Declan Rice puts in a cross yesterday that Haaland would be eyes wide open and feeding off of that. That's the sort of service he loves. We haven't got no one in there, and I don't care if it's sharpness or whatever, find a way of making this player play and play properly for us as a football club. And Odegaard, I thought played well yesterday, but what did he do to create anything? And my argument is, and I'm trying to stick up for him here, he laid on the pass for Saka, which then eventually got us to go. He's unlucky with the shot, but I want to see him be doing. If you're coming back after 6 weeks out, you're coming straight back in the team. You've got to produce better performances than what you're doing. You've got to be out there, because it ain't fair on the likes of those banged in hat-tricks and things like that to be left out of the team, So I always say this when we play in our vets team. If you're bringing one of the players in, if they don't perform, that's down on you and the manager. So you've got to come in there and do it. And I'm sorry that from now on, that is a give me, because I thought he'd done okay, but okay is not good enough. Okay is not good enough when you've got to leave players out for it, and it's no good. We're all saying it. I'm going to say this as well. I would have won a lot of money. I said that Odegaard would start this game.